Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. Let's thank our members: Invictus, Crazy Blue, Cot, Interceptor, Richardson, Danny Cage, and Rupert. All the patrons and members, thank you all. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to be a member or a Patreon, it helps a lot. Soon we will have a PayPal for you guys as well. And yeah, let's get into it. So today we're going to talk about the Tornado, an aircraft that it's being waited for a very long time, to be honest. A lot of people are complaining that the Tornado is not coming yet and stuff like that. And it is going to be probably the first aircraft for some of the other nations that we talked about it in yesterday's video on the F-16 and 15 MiG-29 that I told you guys about. So obviously Germany and the USSR will have the MiG-29. The US, Israel, China, and Italy will have the F-16. Maybe in the far future we will see the F-15 for Japan or the F-2. And China will receive some other aircraft like the F-16 as I said, but some other from the mainland China as well. But then we have some other nations like the UK. The UK doesn't have the F-16, doesn't have the MiG, doesn't have F-15s, doesn't have anything like that. It will only have the Tornado ADV as the fighter variant, as the interceptor variant. And it is a very good aircraft. To be honest, it's going to probably be the best aircraft that we have in the sense of interception just because of its radar for a while, I think. I couldn't confirm exactly these sources and stuff like that. It's hard to find information about it, to be honest. But the Fox Hunter radar, which is the radar on the Tornado ADV, it is supposed to be having around 150, 160 kilometers of range. So it is going to be a very, very effective radar. But that's pretty much it, to be honest. I never flew any Tornado in any game to have an idea on how it is. But looking at the small wings and stuff like that, even with the wings swept back, swept forward, I mean, we will probably have a very bus type like aircraft, It will have a very large aircraft with very powerful engines, but it will be kind of a bus. And that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about, how it would fit in the current meta. The same kind of video that I told you guys about the MiG-29 and other aircraft like the F-16 and stuff like that. But yeah, the Tornado, as I said, it is supposed to be an interceptor. It's not that it can't turn, it can, but it's not made for that. It's made to fly low and fast, It's not made to be dogfighting and stuff like that. Not that it can't, it can, but it's not going to be something amazing like a MiG-29, like an F-16, something like that, It will be an aircraft more on the sense of an F-4, for example. The F-14 even, but the F-14 can turn very well. But it will be an aircraft that, due to the swept wing design and the swing wing design, it will be able to turn better than some aircraft, I think, better than the F-4 or something like that. But it will be still be bad at turning against aircraft such as the MLD, the MiG-29, F-14, as I said, F-16, everything like that. So don't expect a dogfighter when it's at it, okay? The engines are very, very strong, the RBs, but, it's not something out of the ordinary as well. But it is going to be a fast aircraft. But the main thing is the radar together with the missiles. Now to the missiles, we have kind of a problem, The normal loadout for an ADV would be the F3, right? Would be the 4 A9Ls or some kind of A9. And also the Sky Flashes. But remember, the Sky Flashes that we see in the Tornado are basically the same as the Phantom or the Sky Flash that we already have in game, which is kind of a bad missile, It doesn't have a lot of energy, even though it has a very good tracking. It doesn't have any energy to get people from plus 10 kilometers or maybe less than that on the deck, for example. So it's not a missile that it has a lot of energy, okay? Obviously, with a better radar than the F4M, for example, or even the Vegan, you will be able to get people with it. But at least the first variant, which is the Temp Skyflash, which is the 5000 model, it is the same missile that we already seen. So don't expect to be a very good aircraft in the BVR at first, at least. It will have basically the same missile. I mean, it is the same missile, But if you have seen my diving down series of videos on the Tornado, you'll see that there we talk about the Temp 5000 Skyflash, and it is the same missile but with a different launching mechanism. Basically, it has a trapezy that it just expels the ammo downwards and away from the airflow disturbance of the aircraft itself, which makes it have a bit of a better performance. But beyond that, it's the same. Obviously, which is something that I agree with, we should see the Skyflash 6000, which is the Super Temp variant, called the Super Temp sometimes, which is the same missile. It's basically the same missile, same body, same seeker, everything, but they changed the motor or the engine, you know? Instead of having a very short burn time like the AIM-7A2, like the Skyflash, the 3000 it's the one that we have, or even the 5000, it has basically the same type of engine as in the AIM-7F. So it has a booster, or the main rocket, and then after burning that, it has a sustainer, which helps you maintain the energy towards the flight, you know, along the flight of the missile, making it have a lot more energy in long ranges, and still it will have a better tracking than the AIM-7F, for example, because it has a monopulse inversed monopulse seeker, which means that it will be one of the best missiles in the game if it was to be added right now. It would be like the R-24 in tracking. Maybe, I mean, I don't think it would be better, but it would be around the same type of tracking that the R-24 has, but with the energy that the AIM-7F has, which becomes a kind of a deadly weapon. I don't think this is going to be a problem, because obviously if we get the MiG-29, remember the MiG-29 never used the R-24, he only used the R-27 onwards, and with that, with the R-27 in game, and of course the Super 530D in game right now as well, in the Mirage 2000, I think we can expect something like the AIM-7M as well, for the Americans, for an F-15 and F-16 that comes, and for all the nations that use the F-16 and F-15 as well, which would make it very interesting, to be honest, because we would be... Two things we can get out of that. First is that we will be seeing kind of the last generation of semi-active missiles, which is fun. They are very good missiles, but they are still not as great as the R-77, the AIM-120 and stuff like that. And the second thing is that, obviously, if we have one of the last semi-active missiles in the game, we will probably see Fox 3s like the R-77 and the AIM-120 coming fairly soon even. I wouldn't say like during this next year, but I would say in 2024 maybe, or maybe even later than that, because these missiles are probably very, very, very dangerous in a game such as War Thunder, because they can turn a lot and they have a lot of energy, and they are fire and forget. There will be no reason to not use them. They will be like a Super Phoenix, maybe with less range, but a similar range is not that much of a difference. I mean, of course, the maximum range of the M54 is around 100 km plus, but still, it's the maximum range, you know? The maximum range of these missiles are 80 km, for example, in the R-77. The AIM-120A, I think it's less, it's like 50 or 60, but still, they're fairly good in range, and they have a very good tracker. I mean, they are active, and they have pull stopper, basically filtering and stuff like that, so it will be a very, very good missile. But yeah, that's kind of the thing. The Tornado is kind of problematic to add. As I said, it has a problem. If it gets the missile, if it gets its proper missile, it will be amazing, but it means that more missiles like that will come, like I said, the R-27, the AIM-7M, stuff like that. But if it doesn't come with those missiles, it will have only this temp variant of the Skyflash, the 5000, which is the same missile that we already have, but with a different launch mechanism. Which means it's going to be bad, because the Skyflash is a kind of a bad missile if I'm being honest with you guys. It's a difficult, I mean, it's a great missile from like, until like 5 kilometers, But normally in the game, it's very hard to get far away kills with it. And comparing to the other top tier missiles, semi-active missiles that we have, such as the R-24, for example, or the AIM-7F, I get a lot of kills beyond 20 kilometers with those. So, yeah, we have a problem here that maybe, I think, not a problem, but I think the Tornado needs to have the 6000 Skyflash, just because the Mirage already has the Super 530D, which is already a missile that it's comparable to the R-27 and the AIM-7M, technically, you know? So, yeah, that's kind of the thing with the Tornado. Expect it to be very good in some areas, not in everything. It will definitely lose for some other aircraft in many occasions, but in the radar department, the radar is better than the radar on the Su-27 and the F-15. Apparently. I'm not going to confirm this because, as I said, the sources on the Tornado are very slim, but I just think that it will be kind of an interceptor, similar to what a MiG-25 would be in game, but more close to the normal fighters, you know? It would still have the ability to dogfight and shoot cannon and stuff like that, but still it's far from being perfect. So what is the point of the video? Just manage expectations, okay? Because I don't want to hear people complaining that it's Russian bias or something, when, or US bias or whatever, when an F-16 or a MiG-29 destroys the Tornado or something like that. We don't know how it will be, but I have this fear of the Tornado not being enough, you know? At least with the normal Sparrows, you know, Skyflashes. We need this 6000 to be at least competitive in the BVR. Obviously using 9Ls doesn't matter much if you're good in dogfight, if you can manage to score hits with your fast engine and great missiles, right? But yeah, basically this is it. This is how I think the Tornado will be fitting in the game. Obviously, no confirmation. We kind of have the rumor that the MiG-29 is coming, but nothing confirmed as well there. Coming, I mean, in the upcoming patch on December, not right now, obviously. But just remember, we might see not just one. Remember the patch that introduced us to Tier 6? We got MiG-19, the F-100, and the Javelin. So we wouldn't be the first time Gaijin actually add more than one top-tier aircraft for multiple like that, you know? So let's hope a perfect patch, in my opinion, would be a patch that we see 3 aircraft. MiG-29, F-16 with the ADF packages, or OCUs, and the Tornado ADV. This would mean that Germany and USSR will have the MiG, so 2, you know. The US already has the F-14, but it would get the F-16. Israel, China, and Italy would get the F-16, so that's 6 aircraft in total. And also the Tornado ADV for Italy as well, and for the UK. That would mean 7. And plus, obviously, the Mirage 2000 they already have. That plus with the Vegan receiving the RB-74, and maybe something else for Israel. No, not Israel. There's one nation missing, actually. For Japan, obviously. But Japan can get just missiles for the... together with missiles, new missiles, obviously, or even the F-15 in the future, would mean that everybody has a 4th generation aircraft and everybody will be happy, and the balance, it will be probably achieved more easily than what the type of updates that we have right now, with one aircraft just coming and then we have to wait another year to have another. So yeah, but basically this is it. Let me know in the comments if you like the Tornado, if you want to see in the game, and everything that you want to say in the comments, and I see you guys on the next one. So bye guys, subscribe and join our Discord and be a member, be a patron. Bye guys, see ya.